Greetings, fellow travelpreneurs, and welcome to another episode of the Travelpreneur Club, where I interview inspiring travelpreneurs from around the world and share with you their story of starting, launching, and growing their own location-independent business. Now let's get started. Today I feel honored to have Ryan Biddulph with us. Ryan's an author, blogger, freelance writer, and internet lifestyle junkie. He's the founder of an Amazon ebook series, Blogging from Paradise, where he helps his readers become ebook publishing machines by creating both authority and a passive income stream. Ryan, welcome to the Travelpreneur Club, my friend.
Drew, thanks so much for having me. I'm really honored.
My pleasure. So tell us a little more about yourself and fill in any details I may have missed.
Sure. Well, my name is Ryan Biddulph. I'm 41, from New Jersey, former security guard turned island hopping Amazon publishing machine. You covered a lot of it. It's pretty much been a very interesting journey. I was axed from my security guard job 8 years ago, and I dove into the blogging bit. My wife told me about making money online, and I'm like, kind of skeptical in the beginning, like a lot of folks. Mm-hmm. But slowly over time, as I gained greater and greater clarity, I was able to expand my online presence, and then we started traveling after that. I founded Blogging from Paradise, and really since then, the clearer I've gotten, I've really been able to expand my presence a bit, inspire a lot more folks to do the same. So it's pretty much just in a way, a rags to riches story, just from the aspect of where, you're in the middle of what seems like the worst situation in your life, losing your job, and where am I going to go? But even back then, I kind of had that feeling that it was time for me to move in a more freeing direction, that my path in life wasn't so much going to be down the road of, being a guard at a shipping terminal. So it was kind of exciting, scary, pretty much the travel bit or the online bit or the life bit when you really hop into it.
Exactly. Well, we'll dive more into your story and get into a little more. So I'm sure you kind of have an idea already what a travelpreneur is, but I'd like to give you our definition. So a travelpreneur is a traveling entrepreneur that believes in building location-independent businesses that allow them complete control and freedom over their lifestyle. So Ryan, what do you do that makes you part of the Travelpreneur Club?
Well, really, I think pretty much my blog just sums it all up in my brand. It's how to retire to a life of island hopping through smart blogging. And that aspect of smart blogging, it's the freeing that you talk about, the freeing decisions, the freedom, where it's location independent, wherever I am in the world. Like a lot of folks, the other day I met a couple of folks at the park and they're like, what do you do? How do you do it? How do you get paid? I'm like, if there's an internet connection anywhere in the world, I could live there for 4 months. Like I did in Fiji, or 6 months in Bali. As long as you have the connection and you do it through smart blogging or whatever your niche is, for me it's blogging, you will be able to live the lifestyle and enjoy the freedom, the fun of traveling, independent of wherever you're at. And really that's the key thing, to really design your blog, your brand around that passive element, passive income streams, creating content that's evergreen. So really that's probably the heaviest focus.
It's all about creating that dream lifestyle for yourself, and that's all that matters.
That's it. It really does. Follow your fun and, follow your dreams. And you hear it so many times, but it's so true. When you go in that direction, the energy expands. You'll start being someone you never dreamed you could have been.
And I love your energy as well. You can tell you're very happy. You wake up. I'm sure you probably wake up with a smile on your face every day.
I wake up with a smile on my face. It does expand a little bit like the Joker after my 2-minute icy cold shower. But, pick that up from some real icons, Tim Ferriss, Tony Robbins. Icy cold shower. It's tough. Talk to your doctor first, but it really helps a lot too. Yeah.
So, let's go kind of back to your start. What made you take the leap into working for yourself?
Drew, I was so sick and tired of working like 80, 90 hours a week. I was down the road here in New Jersey, down the old turnpike at Mar Terminals in Newark as a security officer, and everything in that industry, the shipping industry, is overtime. And, some days I'd work like 18-hour days. I thought I was going to be going home at midnight, and then the last second, literally 2 minutes before I was supposed to go home and my shift, I'd have to get a double, so I'd have to stay till like 8 in the morning. And I was sick and tired of just being like a slave to a schedule and a slave to a job. I was like, I want to do it on my terms. So that was like the big driver when I did get the axe there. I was like, I just want to be able to do what I want, when I want to do it, have fun, enjoy it. And then as my wife introduced to me the whole travel bit, that's when I moved into that area as well. But so much of it was being bound for so many years. I hadn't taken a vacation in 6 years, more than 2 days off a year. And it's insane. I know my European friends are probably retching now, but it's amazing, in the West, just that drive, work, and not enjoy it. So that was the big push.
Sure. So, you were laid off from that job, correct? You just said they're downsizing, I believe, right?
Downsizing, yeah, moving towards computers and
So
away from.
what if you wouldn't have been laid off though? Like you probably would have stuck with that. You probably would have kept on going. Like, what do you think most people? What do you think is holding back most people from of quitting their job or making a decision to work for themselves? What do you believe is holding most people back? Because that could have been you.
Yeah, no, it definitely could have been true. Thank you, Mark Terminals. Basically, the illusion of security, the illusion of just, being in a comfort zone and thinking it's always going to be that way. Like, well, I have a good job. Like a lot of people down the terminal, oh, this job is, ironclad union and I'll have a pension until I'm, and that's all an illusion. And I think most people buy into it. And then when they get the rug pulled out from underneath them, and it's going to happen to everybody in some area of their life. The universe just is like that, reveal you to you. So it's like, that's the big thing with me. I would have been down there, oh yeah, I'll try to get into the checkers union and make whatever and just, have the overtime and vacation. And they just think that it's everything. The one constant in the universe is change, and most people just don't accept that truth. They think, oh, we can keep it nice and, static and simple and comfortable and everything will be okay. And it's just, there's always going to be that change. So I think that's the thing. Most people cling to that. And then, when stuff gets real, look out.
Absolutely. So, when did you realize that you can make money off of blogging and off of pursuing your passions? When did that change occur?
The first cent. When I made my first cent, because I saw it online and I was like, you know what, people are doing this. And way back then, 8-9 years ago, there was a lot more like really spammy, like low energy stuff, which, we could laugh at, but it was just really, heavy make money online emphasis. And I'm like, okay, other people are doing it. But when I made my first cent, I think it was like through a Google AdSense ad or something like that. And literally it was like 3 cents the 1 month. And I'm like, oh my God. It was like a revelation. I'm like, this thing, it's not an ATM,
Sure.
Unless I'm living in a very third world area and I'm living off the street. But it's like, it's one of those deals where, hey, I can. So you make that first cent or 2 or 3 and you gain the confidence that this is real, And then from there, then things started to, pick up and I expanded more. But that was really the big thing. And then too, following people's stories, like guys like Darren Rose and Pat Flynn, Zach Johnson, who's a friend of mine, Steve Scott, these guys who were just rocking it out, and I would be like, if they could do it, I could do it too. I've made a couple cents. So both those, that was kind of a perfect storm there, making a little bit and then seeing those guys, they kind of moved me in that direction to where this is possible. I could do it.
Absolutely. So, now that you've kind of established your authority in the blogging niche and, have created this brand, Blogging from Paradise, which I love your shirt, by the way. How are you able to travel long-term while building your own business?
Really, Drew, it's so much about just following your fun for me, because I really believe genuinely all the practical tips are so important and following on certain steps, but doing this bit long term, everything in life is energy. It really all is energy, and we talk about positive energy, negative energy, but for me it's that intent that as long as I keep doing what's fun to me, I keep getting the creative ideas, moving into the action, meeting influential people like yourself, connecting with folks and growing the business as long as I keep doing that. And a perfect example is for the longest time, like long term, I love blog commenting and I still think it's awesome, but I got sick and tired of it. I wasn't having fun with it anymore. So then I shifted over to blogging more frequently, a lot more frequently, and really promoting the stuffing out of my ebooks. And then that area started to expand because it was fun for me. And when you have that energy going and you're following your fun and you're trusting and you're connecting, creating, then you'll be able to do the long term bit. Because it's all that inner game. And I think a lot of folks, the practical tips are so important, but like I say, you got to get the being down and then the doing becomes so much easier. And I think most folks do it in reverse. They're like, let me look outside, long term, plan, and that's all well and good, but you got to do the energy work to be the dynamo that lives a life that few people in the world live.
For sure. So does the revenue that you support, or does the revenue that you generate now support the lifestyle you want for yourself?
Yes, yeah, I'm able to live the life, boost my savings, just expand. And I think it's one of those things where the more you just commit, again, to the energy aspect of it, everything takes care of itself. Of course, you're going to be working and connecting and doing all the other stuff. But yeah, I'm able to cover both. Thank goodness.
And what has been your favorite country thus far? I know you've been to quite a few, and you travel like I do. You go to a place, you live 3 months, 6 months. You really put down your roots. You get comfortable. You get an apartment, which is the way I love to travel. I'm kind of over the backpacking days now. I did that one time, and it was a lot of fun. But I like more security, a little more. So, what has been your favorite place thus far?
Oh, That's a tough one. There's so many awesome places. I have a number of favorites. Probably country-wise, Thailand. Bali's right there behind it. But when you just factor in the beauty, the culture, and, the creature comforts, I still like, my Western stuff or my U.S. stuff. So you can find that there in a lot of places. The cost of living, the people are really friendly as well. So I think probably Thailand overall. We love Phuket, one of my favorite islands in the world. Chiang Mai, Pak Nam Pran, Koh Lanta. Bali comes in a close second, though. Bali is really right there, too, because the culture there, like I always tell folks, you got to go there at least once. It's unlike anywhere in the world. It's its own little, between the architecture and stuff, it's almost like Hobbiton because everything, the scale is so much smaller. But Thailand, probably A1, the land of smiles.
And what has been, the greatest factor that has attributed to your success thus far?
I always did what was freeing, even if it was uncomfortable. I think a lot of folks, they're like, oh, I can't. And a perfect example, I was getting ready for this call, for some reason, when I do these interviews, I do a handful, and stuff goes to custard. And I'm like, I stay pretty calm, pretty positive. But my Skype on my new tablet, my new phone, it's going to be great. That just crashes. And then my new Chromebook, that's not. And I'm like, why? What the heck? I have to do this on my old computer with my old camera. But I stay cool with it because I know it'll be so fun and freeing to do the interview. So, not the old me would have done that. I would have complained a lot more. But I think a lot of folks are like, it just wasn't meant to be. And I kind of find a way with the help, of my intuition and stuff. So I think that's really one of my key just tenets. You just have to do the freeing stuff and follow your fun too. And it's going to be uncomfortable sometimes. Like an uncomfortable coat, you're going to shed it. So don't worry. Just keep going, carry on, and you'll be okay.
I think from what I can see, I think it's all about positive energy and being optimistic. And I think that's one of the things that you have going for you.
Yeah, no, I try. I was not always the most optimistic guy, as a lot of folks will tell you. Some people have it naturally. Me, I had to weed out a lot of stuff from my earlier days. But yeah, it's made such a big difference. It does, because your energy just kind of sets the precedent for everything that's going to happen in your life. I
agree. So I'm sure it hasn't been all smooth sailing along your entrepreneurial journey abroad. So you've had difficult times. Take us to, a moment when you were ready to kind of give it up, that you really felt, that this wasn't the right decision, or maybe something else. But take us to one of those moments and how you overcame that adversity to arrive to the point where you are today.
Well, really early in my career, when I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I mean, I know a little more now, probably not a ton more. But I was about $70,000 in debt, and I went bankrupt. I sold everything. I was living at the time, my girlfriend, her mom's house, sleeping on the floor. I just had nothing. And I remember one day going to the store, and I had $5 in my pocket. Or no, that 5 cents. $5 was a windfall. But just 5 cents, literally 5 pennies. And I was like, this is just hell. But again, even though it was so tough, there was always that freeing driver, that little voice that just said, just keep going, man. You're going to find talent you never knew were there, but this is just something, you're resisting. You got to be more present, not so much the doing, but the being. And I had a lot of stuff to clear out from my childhood and other stuff, just all types of stuff that happened in my life. So really the key was just the freeing driver. You gotta be in love with freedom more than you fear doing uncomfortable stuff. Because the only reason why people don't live the life of their dreams is because they're afraid to move into uncomfortable areas. Do the first podcast, do the first video. You're gonna have to leave your job. You got fired. It's uncomfortable, but this is the ride. And the more you could follow your fun and freedom, that will help you get through those really monstrous, sometimes appear to be really monstrous, insurmountable obstacles.
At that moment when you had 5 cents in your pocket, what was the massive action that you took in that moment to get to pick yourself up from the ground on that moment?
It was being with all my mental problems. It's funny because there is a monstrous step. And I mean, massive action wise for me, I had to just be and cry and grieve and get over so much stuff and be so angry to clear out all that energy, because I can never be the person I am now if I'm still holding on to that. You can't get over anything that's still in you. But once I did that, then I dove into blogging. And that was the thing. Blogging was a really big thing for me. I got so much, the massive action was getting so much serious about creating and connecting and finding my voice and doing more videos. So I really did a number of things through blogging, but blogging was such a big thing for me. Once I cleared out all that stuff, or a lot of it, that was probably the big step I took, where it was okay, I'm going to be a blogger now. And really just diving into it, publishing frequently, shipping, as Seth Godin would say, publish. Even if I published, between two blogs, I was publishing like 70 times a day. And it was, 30, 40 videos, short and sweet. But it was like during this period, it was like I was finding my voice. I was getting clear. I was gaining the confidence. And then that's when things started to shift more, where I was like, okay, I was still way off, quote unquote, but it was like the move. It was like one of the big shifts in my life. So it was probably just blogging after sitting with it and meditating and being like, hey, you got to embrace this stuff.
Yeah, you have to commit to it with everything. Yeah, you have to commit to everything.
You got to be all in. You read it all the time and you see it and you understand what it's like. It's like where your attention energy grows. And when you're all in, it's going to expand and it's going to be almost miraculous, because you're going to be like I said, like 8 years ago, if I went in the time machine and I tell myself, you're going to be on Richard Branson's blog, you're going to be on Forbes, you're going to speak at NYU about blogging, you're going to travel the world for 6 years, you're going to live in Fiji you're going to write 126 ebooks. Are you kidding me? I didn't know what a blog was. Like, honestly, Drew, I didn't know what a blog was. I knew how to check ESPN.com and check my, I think, AOL at the time. So it's like, mail.
Sure.
So it's like, look at this person. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. I would have punched me. But like, here we are. And it's just when you're in the moment more and you're just being all in, it's amazing what this life, what we're capable of. It really is.
Absolutely. So for any like aspiring bloggers out there right now, what is one thing that they can do to get started right away?
One of the big things is whatever you could gab about all day long, like whatever you could talk about all day long, blog about it. Because I think most folks, they hop in with that outcome-oriented mindset. I really want to make money, and that's all well and good. I really want to do this. I really want to do that. But when you feel comfortable covering a certain topic, that will move you into an area where you're having fun, where that energy expands so quickly, where you'll let in the ideas, you'll meet the like-minded people, you'll network along certain lines. So I think you really want to pick a niche you feel not even passionate about, but just feels like fun to you, because then the fun will be the reward, and then you won't, after publishing a post, look at your traffic stats or look at your PayPal, because so many folks do that. They go outside and they're like, how am I doing? How am I doing? And then your energy starts to slowly just die away and it goes lower. So definitely follow your fun, where you can gab about all day long, blog about it, and that will get you on the path of the area where you're supposed to be, where you're going to start expanding and where the most money is and the most success, because you won't be as focused on that, because having fun and blogging, that's going to be the reward. And then everything else is going to be extra, and then when it feels like it's extra, it comes in so much easier.
Well, sure. So what is number one goal right now for you, and how do you plan to accomplish it?
My number one goal is probably just to keep on traveling, keep expanding Blogging from Paradise, promote the heck out of my ebooks. I guess if you had to look at one like practical goal, it would be just promoting my ebooks like mad. Just getting them out there. I have 126 bite-sized. I just released 126 yesterday, and just promoting them and showing people that you could do this. You could live this type of life. Come from here. I cover so many topics. So really, that's one of the biggest things, is I'm traveling and enjoying, the world and doing all this good stuff and fun stuff. Just expanding that presence on Amazon and being like, here, it's for Kindle, take it. It's lower price compared to a really, high price, big ticket product store, like $9.99. I pack all my info, all my knowledge in there, all my energy, and they're very fun and entertaining reads too. So really, that's probably the biggest thing. Expand those suckers.
And what is one way that you found to be successful in promoting?
Writing next ebook. I read that from James Altucher, a big fan of his, and he's like, you want to promote your book, write the next one, and then write the next one, and then write the next one, because you start building, you move into a really abundant mindset, and you start expanding just your library. And like everywhere people look, they're like, oh, he wrote an ebook on blogging, he wrote an ebook on making money. Everywhere you look, so you could cover, relevant to your niche and your experience, but really write the next one. It gets you into the most abundant mindset. Of course, free giveaways help a lot. Being really passionate about it, because it shines through. A lot of folks read my books, they're like, I was expecting a dry blogging tips book, and you're telling me how you're being attacked by 2 Thai ladyboy prostitutes teaches you 6 blogging lessons. You want to give blogging tips ebooks on that, I imagine. Maybe so. If so, so it's like, it's really fun and playful, and I use a lot of analogies, and it's a very different approach to it, but it's because I'm having fun with it, and I'm writing, and it's like, so keep writing. You're going to promote them so much more effectively when you have more out there, when you have the confidence and clarity. People are going to buy them. And you can do the free giveaways here and there too, for like 5 days on Kindle. And definitely put them on Amazon. Amazon Kindle 5-day free giveaway. Help you boost the ratings a little bit, get some reviews.
And what is one way you discovered topics to write about? Because you seem like you have you're kind of all over the place in terms of you write a lot of over a lot of different topics. Like, how do you discover, your topics that you want to write about? Do they kind of just come to you? Do you use keyword research? What is kind of your process of that?
Intuition. So much of it's intuition from my experience. I think one of the blessings where I have traveled so much and have seen so much around the world, just travel experiences alone, I could write 40, 50 ebooks easy, like shorter ones, bite size. But being exposed to so many different cultures and so many different people and having so many different experiences, I've been able to draw like a gazillion analogies between that and blogging. So the more I sit in quiet, just the ideas come to me, through my experience. Another thing that does help is just comments on my blog, although I've closed them now, but for the longest time, I think I had like 7,000 or 8,000 comments on my blog. So it's like readers will come to you with ideas, or they'll say outright, write an ebook about this. Or once in a while, I would just be like, I might even do that again now. I'll say, hey guys, what topic do you want me to cover in my next ebook? And people will send you emails, updates on Facebook or tweets. So you'll find your intuition will guide you through your experience, which you have really fun talking about, and then people will bring ideas to you. So really be receptive to those. Even before you see a pattern, if one person comes to you, guaranteed that a lot of other folks have that issue. A lot of other folks want to live their dream along those lines. So definitely dive into it. And me, I did so much research over the years and reading tens of thousands of blogs and writing. I have so much of it up here. But if not, use Google. There's so many good blogs out there. There's so many good ebooks out there to buy, to find research material on. So, it's very fascinating.
Sure.
It's just so weird when I think about this. Like, I was so afraid to write my first ebook. My first ebook sold 4 copies in 5 months. 5 months, 4 copies. Different niche, different area. And it's like, you just keep going, guys. No matter what, keep going. You'll be stunned at what you find out.
And I think the biggest thing I took from that is listen to your audience. I think the most important skill that a person can have is listening. More than talking, more than writing, just listen.
When you could listen, you hear your audience, when you could hear them clearly, when you could hear that like unfailing intuition, when you could hear and observe, you'll see worlds that most people are blind to. And it's like most people are like, how did he get so many ideas? And it's like, well, I just watched. It's like I'm just observing. I'll come up with 5 blog post ideas from every interview I do. I come up for 5 to 10 blog post ideas, or 2 or 3 ebook, or 5 or 10 ebook ideas. I feel like writing ebooks because I could expand them. So once you have that, the watching, the observing, you take it down on a pen and paper or Evernote, whatever. Then you have ideas right there. Observation, it's huge. That's a really good point.
So the Travelpreneur Club is made up of both aspiring and established travelpreneurs. So other than your own books, what is one of your favorite books that you believe would really resonate with the audience?
Ah, man. About travel or about like anything, really?
Anything that would relate to traveling, entrepreneurship, life in general, just something that sticks with you and that you carry with you every day.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It started me, goodness gracious, I'm old. 11 years ago, back in my, earlier days, I got it. I had a Bob Proctor CD and I listened to it. And like the first CD, he's like, buy this book, Think and Grow Rich, pick it up, read it. And I read it until it was dog-eared, till it was falling apart. I gave it to a girl named Rambo in Cambodia. True story. Her name was Rambo. I gave it to her in Cambodia. This is true. So, and then, I picked up another copy online, and I think they're even free online now. It's from the 20s. It just covers all the fundamentals. Energy-wise, it's great. Practical-wise, it's great. And it's just getting in the minds of, like, however it was, 250 millionaires at the time, some of the richest people in the world, Napoleon Hill did. So I would definitely say that that's such a good benchmark because it's so simple and practical. It's really not out there as much because some of these energy and LOA perspectives I love and I'm so much into them, but in the beginning you're going to be like, okay, get my energy down and follow these practical tips. So definitely that started me and it started a lot of other folks on the journey.
It's a classic. I've read it at least once. I probably need to pick it up again here because it's been a few years, but I'm sure you can probably pull information from it each time that you pick it up. It's very
it is. It's
relevant.
One of those books for the more. That's why I dog-eared it before I handed it off to Rambo. It's you read it and you might read 3 lines, and after those 3 lines, you're like, oh, okay, I read it again, and then you'll have ideas and you'll do things. It's magic. You could tell it took 25 years to put together.
Incredible. So I just wanted to thank you again for finding the time to sit down with me and chat. I really enjoyed our talk, and I think you offered a lot of value. So my fellow travelpreneurs, I highly recommend heading over to bloggingfromparadise.com. You can see it on the shirt, the .com. Check out some of his ebook offerings. He's got a library on Amazon. So Ryan, before we let you go, please share with us one parting piece of wisdom and how we can connect with you, and then we'll say goodbye.
Sure. Again, thanks so much, Drew. Follow your fun, guys. Whatever you most enjoy doing, that niche is going to grow around that. I swear. Your energy will become so contagious, and people just be like, beating down the door to interview you and to follow you and to buy your books. So follow your fun, and that's really where all the energy is at, and that's where the dreams lay. And other than that, bloggingparadise.com. I have all my ebooks lined up by category. Some of my latest blog posts, travel pictures, and my upcoming trips. So that's where we're at.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. We'll keep in touch and take care.
Appreciate it, Drew.
Thank you so much for watching today's episode. It would mean the world to me if you would subscribe below and share this video with a friend that you think it would help. If you'd like this interview in audio format, you can click above right there to subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher. And don't forget to head on over to thetravelpreneurclub.com for more inspirational content that'll help you begin your journey as a travelpreneur. Until next time, take care, my friends.